Hello, everybody. Warm welcome to the Wine with Jimmy channel. Delighted for you for stopping by. Thank you so much. And welcome to this wine educational channel, which is designed to help those of you learning more about it to get more from it, more understanding, more enjoyment, and really specifically to help those of you taking examinations in this wonderful topic. So welcome to a series for the WSET Diploma. This is Central Italy looking at Lazio. So this is Series 5, looking at Latium, the famous, very famous area surrounding the capital, today's capital city of Italy, Roma. So we are here in Lazio. Go Lazio! Okay, so we are looking at a 5-part series here. So part 1 will be on the history, introduction, and wine business. Part 1 is available here as free content. Part 2 through to 5 is only available on my e-learning portal. That's over at www.winewithjimmy.com. If anybody has any questions or comments or niggling concerns, please do get in touch. You can do so by commenting on this video below. Make sure you click like and subscribe whilst you are there as well. You can always use the social media too at the bottom of every slide if you are that way inclined. So we are looking at the world of Lazio. First of all, we need to know where this autonomous region lies. Well, we are here, as you can see, we've been identified here in this kind of central but coastal section of Italy. It has Toscana as its northern border, shared with Umbria, small proportion of Marche, then Abruzzo, a little bit of Molise, and then we have a bit of Campania, and it's on the Tyrrhenian Sea, overlooking towards Corsica and Sardinia. So this is the Lazio location. The Lazio, of course, is dominated by the capital city. Roma is not only the capital of the region, but capital of the country, a population of about 3 million in the city, about 4.5 million in the metropolitan area. The government is here, the government institutions are based here, and we have a country in its own right located within Rome, which is the Vatican City, of course. A little bit of history here. So Lazio was originally inhabited by an Italic tribe called the Latini tribe, hence where Latium comes from, eventually Lazio. The Etruscans advanced to occupy the entire territory of Lazio by the 5th century BC. And Roma was originally founded around 750 BC as a union of various Latin and Italic villages. The history of Lazio then really is very firmly entwined from this moment when we have the Roman influence, hence its name, and then we have the second phase, which would be the Papal States. They're the two big ones. Let's talk about the first one, the first era. So the Roman kingdom changed to the Roman Republic in the 6th century BC, becoming a very strong military power and eventually becoming the empire in 27 AD. By the start of the 2nd century AD, Rome and the Roman Empire had really controlled most of Western Europe, as you can see here, and also key areas all around the Mediterranean. The Western Roman Empire collapses in 476 AD, and areas like Lazio and Rome, which were previous centerpieces to the strongest empire at that time in the world, was left in chaos. And then comes the church to pick up the pieces and offer stability. And that's what we have here in the second era. In the Middle Ages, Lazio and Rome becomes a very important part of the Papal States, as we know, through the strengthening of religious and then also military powers within that and the aristocracy, leading to the continuous power struggles between lords and the Pope until the middle of the 16th century. Very classic in Tuscany. We've discussed this on a previous series, when you have the cities that support the Pope and the cities that support the Emperor. So the Holy Roman Emperor, for example, and you always have those continuing factions that would occur here. So those that support the feudal system, those that support the Pope. So that's key here as well. From the middle of the 16th century, the Papal States politically unified Lazio along with the Papal States, so that these territories become the provincial administration of St. Peter's Estate. And that's what we're kind of seeing here, this formation of the Papal States. So this is, in fact, the Papal States after the Treaty of Vienna in 1815. And this is an important time. This is when Napoleon finally gets beaten after his quite adventurous campaigns across Italy. But you have the Papal States being Romagna, Marche here, and then coming through Umbria and down to Lazio, of course, this sort of greenish area. Eventually, the Papal States become annexed by the Italian kingdom in the Risorgimento, the unification of Italy in 1860, with eventually the areas here of Lazio around Rome becoming annexed in 1870. So from 1860, this area, and then finally the area around Rome. This is after the Piedmontese armies, of course, defeating quite significantly the Papal States armies. And then, of course, Rome now sits as an autonomous region within the Italian country. So the wine business here is that we have about 20,000 hectares of vines being found here, producing about 1 million hectolitres of wine per year, roughly about 40% DOC, about 20% IGT, and that leaves about 40% for table wine. The thing about this area, Lazio, is that Rome is the big market, of course. We've mentioned that there's over 4.5 million people in the metropolitan area. So it's a big market for the wine here. Perhaps it's too much of an easy market. So wines have been generally made in the past rather simply and just to feed that local market. That's because of this, what they say, this ease for the farmers around this area to support Rome. But the viticultural potential of Lazio is rather high. There's really good climatic conditions, perfect hillside sites, and distinctive volcanic soils across most of it. So we really have got a new phase that we're coming into with Lazio. There's some rather exciting wines now being crafted, not just bulk wine production. And look out for producers like Marco Carpinetti, Domagno Sciolli, who's a really good producer, certainly with the Cesanese grape, and Principe Pallavincini as well, making some excellent wines, certainly from things like Malvasia Puntinata as well. Okay, so I know it's a shorter video, but maybe that comes as a blessing for you, knowing that some of these videos I do go on for 30 minutes. That's the end of this part one. Please do join me for part two on the climate and grape growing and geology. But part two, that one and all other parts are only available on my e-learning portal. There are hundreds of exclusive videos there on that portal, plus extra resources for your studies. So please go along and have a look and sign up now. If you do have any comments though, or questions or concerns on this video, pop them in the comments below this video. Make sure you click like because it helps me. Make sure you click subscribe because it helps you with regular weekly updates. And if you do find yourself in the United Kingdom, then please come and say hi at one of my wonderful but humble establishments for a class, a glass, or a bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Goodbye.